Afternoon. So today we're going to learn about phonics. We're going to have a lesson on phonics today. Our grapheme that we're going to talk about today is the sound oi. And oi can be with two different letter combinations, which is oy and oi. So today we're going to talk about oi. All right, so our learning intention for today is I will identify, decode, and use words with the oi sound spell as oi and oy in an oral reading, word sorts, and in written sentences. Okay, so that's what we're going to be learning today. So our success criteria, the way we know that we are going to accomplish our goal today is we have some steps that we have to take. So can you please read for me the first success criteria?
Identify the oi sound in spoken and written words.
Great. So our verb is identify. That means identify means that we have to find it. Okay. We're going to locate it and understand where it is. What is our second success criteria?
Distinguish between the graphemes
OI,
oi middle and oi end.
OY at the end. Good. So the OI is going to be in the middle of our words and the OY is going to show up at the end of our words. And then our next success criteria.
Accurately read and sort words with oi and oi.
Perfect. And then finally, we're going to do what?
Write sentences using words with the oi sound.
Perfect, thank you. So we have a few things that we need to accomplish today. We're going to identify where we're going to find the OY and OI, the OI sound in words. We are going to distinguish between the two different locations of where we're going to find that sound. We are going to read and we're going to sort out where we find those and identify those words. And then we are also going to write some sentences. You ready?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So again, what we're learning today, we're going to learn how to read and spell words with the oi sound. Very excited. This is going to continue us on our reading and writing journey. All right, so the materials that you're going to need today is you need a sharpened pencil. Do you have a pencil? Show me your pencils. Awesome. Sharpened pencils, everyone has one. We are good to go. All right, so for our warm-up activity, we are going to listen to some sounds with oi. All right, so when we hear these words with oi, when you hear the oi sound, you're going to give me a thumbs up. What sound are we listening for?
Oi.
Oi. Perfect. So if you hear a word with oi in it, what are you going to do? Can you show me? If I say a word with oi, you're going to do what? Thumbs up. Perfect. Thank you. All right, here we go. If there is no oi sound, what's the opposite of thumbs up? Excellent. Yes, thumbs down. All right, here we go. First word is boy. My turn, boy. Your turn.
Boy.
Great. Do we hear the oi sound in the word?
Yes.
So we have to do what when we hear the oi sound? Give me a
thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Perfect. Thumbs up. Let's see if we're correct. Yes, we are correct. We got a thumbs up on the screen. All right, ready? Next word. My turn, coin. Your turn. What's the word?
Coin.
Coin. And do we hear the oi sound?
Yes.
So we show me a thumbs up. Perfect. Excellent. Looks like we're correct. All right, next word. My turn, cat. Your turn.
Cat.
Do we hear the oi sound?
No.
No. So what do you show me? Thumbs down. Excellent. Let's see if we're correct. We are. Next word, my turn, foil. Your turn.
Foil.
Excellent. Do we hear the oi sound in foil?
Yes.
Okay, so you show me thumbs up or thumbs down. Perfect. Thumbs up. I love it. All right, next word. My turn, toy. Your turn.
Toy.
Okay, do we hear the oi sound?
Yes.
So I get a
thumbs up.
Excellent. And let's try the last one. My turn, map. Your turn.
Map.
Oi sound, yes or no?
No.
So you're going to show me thumbs up or thumbs down?
Down.
Perfect. Excellent work. All right, so let's take a look at those words. Do you notice anything about those words on the ones where we hear the oi sound? When we see boy, where do you notice that the oi sound is? Is that the beginning, middle, or end?
It's at the middle.
In the middle? Boy is in the middle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I don't see any letters after OY.
Oh, so it's at the end.
At the end, very good. All right, how about coin? Is that the beginning, middle, or end?
It's at the beginning.
Okay, I see a letter C before the OI sound.
Uh-oh.
So is the beginning, middle, or end?
End.
Okay, I see an N after the OI sound. So is the OI sound at the beginning, middle, or end?
It's at the middle.
In the middle, good. Coin. Cat, we don't see one. How about foil? Beginning, middle, or end?
End.
Okay, I hear a L sound at the end. So we have foil, foil, beginning, middle, or end?
Beginning.
Okay, so I see an F and hear an F sound at the beginning. So where am I hearing the OI sound?
The middle?
In the middle, perfect. Yep, see the OI in the middle there. How about toy? Beginning, middle, or end? I hear-
End.
Very good, yes, toy, and map is not part of it. Awesome, good job. All right, so let's learn how to spell the OI sound. We can spell the OI sound in two different ways. We have OI and OY. Okay, we saw some of those examples in our words on the previous screen. So the OI will usually come in the middle of the word. What is this a picture of?
Money. A quarter.
Okay, what OI word would we use?
Oin.
Yes, it's a coin. So you'll notice that we have the k sound at the beginning, the n sound at the end, and the OI in the middle. So we have coin. What about this picture? What is this a picture of?
A boy.
A boy. Great. So we have OY usually comes at the end of the word. So for example, we have boy, so we have the B, and then we have the OI. Awesome. Good job. All right. So you can see if we sound it out together and we sound out the whole word, we have the first word is coin. So we're going to pronounce each part of the word. So we have the k, oi, n. Your turn. K, oi, n. Let's do the same for boy. Ready? B, oi. Perfect. Awesome. So that makes it a little bit easier for spelling. If we know that the OI is going to be in the middle of the word, then when we hear the oi sound, we know that it's going to be OI. If we know that the oi sound is spelled OY, we know it's going to be at the end of the word, like boy. Can you think of any other words that have the ending of OY? What does the boy play with?
Toys.
Yeah, a toy. Perfect. How about when you're being a little bit sly? You might be a little bit
Coy.
coy. Good. I know, right? Very good. All right. So we're blending the sounds together. We have the OI in the middle and the OY at the end. All right. So we're going to read some words. As a reminder, the OI is in the middle, OY at the end. All right. So when you see the word pop up on the screen, I'll say it first, then it will be your turn. All right. First word, coin,
Coin.
soy,
Soy.
soil,
Soil.
joy,
Joy.
foil,
Boil.
toy.
Toy.
Good. And boil.
Boil.
Very good. So you'll notice if you look at the words, the ones that have the oi sound in the middle start with OI or have OI. The ones that have the oi sound at the end are OY. All right. Now let's go on to, what's that last word?
Enjoy.
Excellent. We're going to enjoy doing an activity where you are going to identify the words. All right. So, cool, I didn't print that one. All right, so let's take a look. We're going to pretend like we have this on our paper because I forgot to print it. And we are going to identify the word with the picture. All right? So, the first picture that we have here is a what?
Toy.
A toy. So I drew a line from the toy to toy and I circled it. All right? What is this a picture of? We have, it's a point, but
Point.
which spelling is correct?
Point, P-O-I-N-T,
Great, that's awesome. How did you know that the O-I was the correct one?
because it was in the middle.
It's in the middle, and in the middle it's O-I. Awesome. All right, so this is a picture of a what?
A boy,
Great. So is boy spelled B-O-Y or B-O-I?
B-O-Y,
And how did you know it was B-O-Y?
because it was on the end.
It's on the end. Awesome. All right, this is a picture of a what?
Coin,
A coin. Is it C-O-Y-N or C-O-I-N?
C-O-I-N,
Excellent. And how did you know it was C-O-I-N?
because it's in the middle.
Awesome. All right, and the last one?
Boil,
Boil. And which one is correct? O-I-L or O-Y-L?
O-I-L,
And how did you know that?
because it was at the end.
I see an L at the end. So is this at the end or in the middle?
Ooh, middle.
It's in the middle. Awesome. Very good. So we know that if it's in the middle, it has an O-I, and at the end has an O-Y. Awesome. Good job. All right. Guess what we get to read now? Who loves reading? All of us reading teachers, of course. All right. So the story that we're going to read is a story called Toys and Coins. Okay? I'm going to read it first. Whenever we are reading, it's very good practice to read a document at least 3 times to make sure that we get a full understanding of what we're reading. So the first time I'm going to read it out loud, you're going to listen and follow along. Okay? The second time we read it, I'm going to read it. You can read with me if you choose, but while you're reading it, we're going to do some annotating. And annotating means that we're going to be writing on the document for specific things that we're looking for while we're reading. What do you think we're going to be looking for while we're reading today?
Boy,
Boy sounds. Awesome. Excellent. Remind me to give you a cat's ticket at the end of class.
okay.
All right. So our story is called Toys and Coins. Okay. So as I'm reading, I want you to think about and watch for all of the words that have the oi sound in it. All right. So Toys and Coins is a story by Have Fun Teaching. Roy was a boy. Roy had lots of toys. They gave him lots of joy. He shared them with other boys. Toys were something they could all enjoy. Roy also has lots of coins. He used them to buy some oil. Then he bought some foil. He also bought some soil. We hear a lot of voice sounds in there. All right, so as we read it for the second time, I'm going to hand you a copy of it. What's the first thing that we do when we're handed a piece of paper for an assignment?
Put our name on it.
Absolutely.
And the date.
Put your name on top, and today's date is June 18th.
Very good pencil.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to read out loud again. If you feel comfortable reading with me, you're welcome to read with me. While we are reading, what you're going to do is you're going to annotate your text by underlining or highlighting the words that have the oi sound. Okay? So we're going to highlight or underline. Do you have a highlighter?
No.
Then you will just be underlining, or you can circle if you feel more comfortable, but the expectation is you at least underline. Okay? And then we'll review the words when we are finished. All right. So here we go. You're welcome to read along with me if you choose, if you feel comfortable, or you can just read the words that you know. All right. Roy was a boy. I'm going to stop right there. So what was the instruction that you're supposed to do while we're reading? You're going to
underline the sound.
right, underline the words that have oi in it. So did we hear any words in the first sentence with oi?
Yes.
Which words?
Roy and boy.
Perfect. So make sure that you underline Roy and underline boy. Excellent. Thank you. All right. So continue doing that as we go. If you miss any, that's okay. We'll go back and double check our work.
Need a different pencil.
All right. So here we go. Are you ready? Roy was a boy. Roy had lots of toys.
Malfunction.
Does the pen not work?
No, didn't work on this, I don't know why.
Okay. So line 2. Roy had lots of toys.
Roy had lots of toys.
Great. So what should you be doing while we're reading?
Underlining their name.
Okay. Underline any words that have the
Oi sound.
perfect. Thank you. They gave him lots of
Joy.
joy. He shared them with other boys. Toys were something they could all enjoy. Roy also had lots of coins. He used them to buy some oil. Then he bought some foil. He also bought some soil. Okay? All right, so I'll give you a moment to go back and reread by yourself and underline any words that you see in the whole page that have the oi sound. Just do the best you can. You have about 30 more seconds to finish up. All right, let's see how you did. All right, so toys and coins. Roy was a boy. So in the first sentence, we underlined Roy and
Toy.
boy. Awesome. All right, second sentence, it says Roy has lots of toys. Diane, which words did we underline in the second sentence?
We underlined toys.
And
I don't know which line I'm on.
okay, so we're in the second line right here. We have,
Oh, over there. Okay.
yep, we're over here. Roy had lots of toys. Which words did we underline?
Roy and toys.
Perfect, thank you. Third line, would you read the third line for us and tell us which word you
They
underlined?
gave him lots of joy.
What
Joy.
word did you underline?
Joy.
Perfect, thank you. Let's read the next line together. He shared them with other boys. Which word did we underline?
Boys.
Excellent. All right, next line. You're gonna read it out loud and tell us which word you underlined.
Toys were something they could all enjoy.
What you underline?
Toys and enjoy.
Cool. All right. Next line.
Ray also had lots of coins.
What's his name at the beginning of the sentence?
Ray.
Look down at your paper.
Oh, Roy also had lots of coins.
Okay, so which words did we underline? With the oi sound?
Toys.
Okay, and
Enjoy.
next line. We're on this line right here, second paragraph.
Oh.
Roy.
Roy also had lots of coins.
Okay, which words are we underlining?
Roy and coins.
Awesome. Next line.
He used them to buy some oil.
Which word are we underlining?
Oil.
Perfect. And remember, the paper is right in front of you, so you can look down and read from here. So this says,
Then he bought some foil.
awesome. And we underlined which word?
Foil.
Cool. And then the last one is, he also bought
some
some soil.
soil.
What word are we underlining?
Soil.
Perfect. Awesome. All right. So now that we've read the story We've actually read it how many times now?
A lot.
A lot, yes, we've read it 3 times. Okay, so with that, then we need to do a little bit of practice. So we are going to do a comprehension piece. So since we read the story, what's the first thing that you do when I give you a piece of paper?
Put my name and date on it.
Yes, please. All right, so even if you are a wizard, please try not to work ahead. I have specific instructions that I would like you to follow while we are completing this task. All right, so we just read the story about toys and coins. When we are finding answers within text, it's called citing the text, or we're going back in to find our answers. Even if you know the answer, I still need you to go back into the story, and I want you to circle in the story where you found the answer, right? So for example, number 1 says, Roy was a, and what is Roy?
Boy.
He's a boy, perfect. So how do we know that that's true? If you go back into your story, I need you to go into your story and find where it says he is a boy. And if we look at our story, it says in the very first sentence, Roy was a boy. So I want you to circle in your paper that looks like this, in your story. Diane, I need you to be on the other paper. We're going to circle where we found our answer. Okay, and we found our answer in that first line. So we're going to circle Roy was a boy. So yes, right here, circle the whole sentence. Awesome, yeah, so that's telling us that we found our answer, which is A. Roy is a boy. All right, so let's do the same thing for number 2. What does Roy have lots of?
Toys.
Toys, awesome. So the answer is correct, C, toys. But now we need to go back into our story and find out where it says he has a lot of toys. Perfect, yes, I saw that you already circled it. Excellent work. So your paper should look somewhat like mine. So Roy had a lot of toys. If you circled just toys, that is absolutely fine. I circled the whole sentence because I like to circle sentences. All right, number 3. Roy also has lots of what?
Toys.
Well, we already said he has toys. He also had lots of, the answers are coins, dogs, stickers, or snacks.
Oh.
We need to go back into our
Coins.
story. Okay, coins. Now go back in the story and find where it tells us that he had lots of coins. So you're going to be looking on this page.
Right here.
Perfect. Yeah, go ahead and circle that. We are proving our answers. That's what this is called. We are proving our answer. Whenever we are taking a test for the state or district, we always want to make sure that we know our answer 100% correct, and so we go back into the text and we find it to make sure. Even if we think we know it, it's still good to check. All right, number 4. Does Roy share his toys?
Yes.
He does share his toys. How do we know that? Can you find in the text where it tells us that Roy shares his toys?
Does Roy share his toys?
Yeah, so
Number
the
4.
answer is yes. So we need to go back into the story and find in the story where it tells us that he shared his toys.
Roy had lots of toys.
Okay, did he share them?
He shared them with other boys.
Perfect, excellent. So go ahead and circle that sentence. He shared them with other boys. So he's a good friend. He shared his toys with other boys. All right, finally, number 5. Does Roy buy some foil?
Yes.
He did buy some foil. Where did we see that in the story?
At the end.
The very last line, excellent. So go ahead and circle that. He bought some foil. Excellent job. Okay, so hang on to those 2 papers. Don't forget to fill in your answers. All right, so we identified O and I, right? We read a story and identified words in the story that have the oi sound. The next thing that we need to do is we need to write about it. We're going to write some sentences. Okay. All right, so it's your turn. On this piece of paper, what's the first thing that you do when I give you a piece of paper?
It's your name and date.
Correct, thank you. All right, so in this writing exercise today, you are going to write 3 sentences for me. Remember, we're thinking about the oi sound. So we have oi that comes in the middle, like in the word coin, and we have oy that comes at the end, like in the word boy. So I have given you a word bank of some words that I would like you to create sentences. The words are in the yellow box on top. So let's read those words together. We'll start with boy. Ready? Boy, join, toy, point, boil, and joy. So I want you to use these words, and I would like you to write 3 sentences for me using the words from the word bank. You can put 1 word in a sentence, you can put 3 words in the sentence, however many words you want to use from the word bank in your sentence. Don't forget to put a capital letter at the beginning and punctuation at the end. Okay? So 3 sentences. So you could start with like, the boy did something. And use the words from the bank, word bank. What did the boy do? So if you need some ideas, you can go back into your story and look at your story and see what types of sentences they wrote there. They don't have to be long sentences. I just need 1 sentence with at least 1 of each of those words. 3 sentences using any of those words. So what does a boy do?
A boy plays with toys.
Perfect, write that. So, and you use 2 of the words in there, awesome. Don't forget your punctuation at the end and a capital letter at the beginning. All right, what other word in there can we use? Let's look at that next word. It says join. What are some things that you can join, or how would you join something? What could you join?
The boy enjoys toys.
Okay. And you don't have to use the same ones over, but you can write that for sure. The boy enjoys toys. Good. How about a sentence with boil? What is something you would boil?
Boil.
If I'm going to make you a sandwich with eggs, what would I do with the eggs first?
Crack them.
I would crack them before what do I need to do to the eggs to make them hard?
I have to cook them.
And what does that mean when you cook them? What word from here can we use when you're cooking eggs?
You can boil.
Good. So you can boil the eggs.
So the boy can boil the eggs.
Oh, you can just say boil the eggs. It doesn't have to, you don't have to use all of the words, just as long as you use 1 of them in a sentence. So boil the eggs, and I will do that when we're done with our lesson because I want some egg salad. All right, awesome. All right, so who would like to share their sentence with me? Sentence number 1, what did you write? Oh, Diane, thank you for volunteering. Can you please read your sentence for us out loud?
I can't read it. The boy enjoyed, I can't read it.
Looks like the boy played with toys. Perfect, awesome. So which words in there did you have the oi sound?
Boy,
And
toy,
toy, very good. And those are at the end. So what did you spell it with an OY or an OI?
a Y.
Very good. Okay, OY because it comes at the end. Now I noticed that you used another word in your third sentence that talked about eggs and what you did with the eggs. What was that word that you chose to use in your third sentence?
Boil,
Boil. And I heard a b, oi, and ul. So how did you spell boil when you wrote it on your paper?
BOIL,
Perfect. And why did you choose OI?
because it wasn't correct.
Right? Because it comes in the beginning, middle, or end of the word.
Because it comes in the end.
Okay, I heard a ul sound at the end. So we have b, oi, ul. So did it come in the beginning, b, middle, oi,
Oi,
and
in the
ul?
middle.
In the middle. Awesome. Excellent. All right, very good. Make sure that your name is on your paper because I'm going to collect these right now for your grade. All right, but we have one final assessment. Let's check to see how we did on our lesson today. All right, so for your final assessment, I am going to read the word and you are going to circle the ones that have the oi sound, okay? So your paper, it already shows them, but I have them covered up on mine. So let's listen. If you hear the oi sound, you are going to circle the word, okay? Ready? First word, foil. Second word, bed. Third word, joy. Fourth word, pen. Fifth word, soil. And last word, book. All right, please make sure that your name is on the top of the paper so that I can come and collect them. All right, good job today, everybody. You did amazing. So let's take a look at our learning intention and success criteria and see if we completed our lesson for today. All right, our learning intention was to identify, decode, and use words with the oi sound, spelled as OI and OY. We, in a reading, word sorts, and written sentences. Okay? So, did you identify the oi sound while we were listening to our lesson today?
Yes.
Okay? Did you distinguish between the in the middle and the end of the word, the oi sound?
Yes.
Okay? Did you read a story and sort out some of the words that you found with the oi sound?
Yes.
Awesome. And did you write some sentences using the oi sound?
Yes.
Yes, you did. Did we complete our tasks for today? You need a thumbs up or a thumbs down. We did. Awesome. Great work, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a great day.